wanted to speak on Floyd Mayweather and his visit to ESPN yesterday. Okay, he made a visit to First Take with Max Kellerman, or he was now co-hosting with Stephen A. Smith. Okay, and he paid a visit. He's cool with Stephen A. Smith, so I'm not surprised he went up there, especially because Skip Bayless is not there anymore, right? We know Skip Bayless is completely anti-Floyd with the rest of the ESPN, the whole ESPN, all right? Because every chance they get, they will bring up the domestic violence. But I'll get into all that later, all right? But he made a visit, all right? And with that visit, he also did other interviews outside of the show, right? He did the show with First Take, but then there was a lot of videos uploaded, more private interviews that he did while he was there at ESPN, okay? You can see it on the Fight Hype channel. There's a ton of videos of Floyd Mayweather, all right? So anyway, let's get right into it. Now, let's start off with why he was there. He was basically he was breaking down the whole Conor Mcgregor thing, all right? He was talking about how he was making a fight, he was trying to get the fight going, kind of fell through, but if they want to fight, they have his number, they know to call him. Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. Smith is like, with me, I'm like, one day I like him, the other day I don't, because Stephen A. Smith was just loving Floyd a little too much, okay? It was a little over the top, all right? He was getting a little too excited. He was cutting Floyd off. He was cutting off Max. He was just getting a little too excited, all right? Max was trying to ask him a lot of the questions, the tougher questions, okay? But Stephen A. was just a little bit too excited, all right? You can check out the interview yourself. It's all on the internet, all right? But about Conor McGregor, all right? This is what I don't like about these Floyd Mayweather interviews, okay? Floyd is talking like a promoter, all right? It's not authentic to me, okay? He's talking in a way like in a business matter, all right? He's not being real to me, all right? I'm not saying he's always like that, but most of the time he's like that. Okay, he does, he's talking about money, he's talking about how he's the A side if him and Conor were to fight, which is true, especially if this is a boxing match. This is a boxing match. Conor is stepping over to your home, to your zone, all right? So he's stepping over to fight you, possibly fight you. You're the A side, you're the bigger draw. Okay, you are. In boxing, you are. Okay? And he was talking about the money. He was like, yeah, I want at least $100 million guaranteed. Conor McGregor, I don't know how much he made, but we're offering him $15 million. Obviously Floyd, this is what I don't like about Floyd, because he acts like he doesn't know, but he does know. It's like a reverse psychology thing with him when he's speaking to the public. He wants to make it seem like he's too big of a star to know such things, like as far as what Conor McGregor is getting paid per fight. Okay, already. Right, so don't, I don't know how much when he answers the questions to say, I don't know how much Conor, did you make $10 million in a fight? What was your last fight $5 million? You know how much this guy is making in his fights, okay? Because for you to come up with the number of $15 million, you are already well informed for you to even come up with that number, because you are the businessman. If you're the businessman that you claim you are, you should already know the numbers. All right, this is why you came up with this amount of $15 million. Because if Conor got paid much more than $15 million in a fight, if he got paid $25 million, you wouldn't be offering him $15 million, just like you say. All right, if he got paid $1 million in a fight, you wouldn't be offering him $15 million. Okay, so let's be realistic, and this is why I don't like. I'm gonna watch it because I am a Floyd Mayweather fan, and I have a boxing channel. Okay, but when it comes to these interviews, Floyd likes to make it seem like he's not well informed, because he feels he doesn't want to make the public think that he's obsessed with all of these people that's beneath him in his mind. Okay, and it's very annoying, because we just want to get a straight up answer when you're giving, when you're questioning something, when the media is asking you something, like what's your thoughts on something, we just want you to give an authentic answer. We don't want you to give the promoter answer. But I know you're a promoter now, so you got to do that. But it's hard to enjoy watching. I cringe watching these interviews because he's playing this game like he doesn't know who certain people are. Who's that guy? I mean, every time you watch an interview now, Floyd is like, they're asking about Floyd. Who's that kid that you know who they are. When you talk about Andre Ward, right? And I'll get to that later. You're talking about how much Andre Ward lost the fight, but you don't know who Sergey Kovalev is. Who's that guy? Who's that guy named that he lost? Stop playing stupid. You know who he is. Okay? You are a fan of the sport. You keep saying, you said in this interview, later, when you're talking about Andre, ain't nobody knows boxing like I do. All right? You know who these people are. He used to do the same thing with Gennady Golovkin. Who's that guy? Who's the guy? The guy. You know who Gennady Golovkin is. Okay? Stop doing that. All right? But I know why he's doing that, because he wants to fool the people into thinking that he's too big into knowing who all these other people are. You know who they are. All right? So, with Conor McGregor, listen, it makes sense. All right? This is a business fight. This is not a real fight. This is not a challenge for Floyd Mayweather. Okay? Conor McGregor, as good as he boxes in the cage, all right? He's a superior striker in the UFC. One of the best, without a doubt. He's a great counterpuncher. He's great over there in the UFC. Okay? But when it comes to boxing, you just don't step into boxing fighting the elite, okay? If Floyd were to freaking lose this fight, it doesn't matter if he's 40, it doesn't matter if he's been out of the ring for 2 years. It's embarrassing if Floyd were to actually lose to this guy, right? This fight is not a challenge for him, okay? This is the weakest challenge out of all of the people that he's fought, because as good as of a striker Conor is in the UFC, okay, when you're just focused on this, it's a different kind of fight. All right. Over there, you got to worry about leg kicks. You got to worry about getting taken down. It's a totally different thing. I don't need to break that down, But I understand from a business standpoint, it makes sense. All right, for him to want this fight, because you're going to get not only the boxing fans to watch it, but you're going to get everybody from the UFC. And Conor McGregor is extremely famous now. All right, he's on a level. He is the most famous MMA fighter, not the greatest MMA fighter by far, not even close. But as far as fame right now, he's that guy. All right, and you're that guy in boxing. All right, well, you were before you retired. All right, so it makes sense. But let's not act like you're pushing a fight. You're not pushing a fight more than he is, because Floyd, you are pushing a fight more than him. And you try to downplay like it's $100 million. I could get the money anyway. You downplaying it because you're acting like a businessman. You're acting like a promoter. I get it. You got to act that way, like it's nothing to you, like the money is nothing to you. But you are pushing a fight more than McGregor, because McGregor is still fighting other people. He's still doing whatever he has to do in the UFC. Yeah, he says he's made some comments. He made some posts on Instagram. But Floyd is pushing a fight. He's pushing the agenda. He went to ESPN to talk about Conor McGregor. All right, he went there. All right, Conor McGregor might post something on his gram. I'm the king of boxing. He'll post a picture of him knocking out Floyd. But that's as far as it goes. Floyd Mayweather is pushing this fight. So don't act like the fight is not really that big of a deal to you. It is a big deal. It is a big deal. You went the first take and spoke on it for half an hour. Spoke on other things. He spoke on football, basketball, whatever. But you're pushing a fight because you want that money. Don't downplay $100 million. Let's be real. And this is why I have a problem with these interviews, because you're not being real right now. I know you're rich. I know you're worth $500 million or whatever. But let's not act like $100 million don't mean nothing to you. Especially when it's an easy fight. This is not a fight that can ruin your legacy, because you're not, there's a 2% chance of you losing that fight. Okay? So, moving on from that. Alright, let's talk about Andre Ward. All right, and the comments he made about Virgil Hunter, all right, really bothered me. Okay, it felt like he wanted to get that off. He couldn't wait until he got asked about Andre Ward or whatever. All right, I know where it stems from. Okay, I know there was a little bit of back and forth between the two. Nothing major, but I know Floyd had made some comments about. He didn't think Andre Ward should have taken the fight. This was before the fight. Right? He felt like Floyd was trying to insinuate that it was some kind of way of, it was some kind of HBO way of trying to give, push Kovalev and give Ward his first loss. This was before the fight. All right, I remember seeing that and hearing that. And Ward responded with, listen, if you really feel that way, if you were really worried about my well-being, you would have made the phone call. You have my number. Okay? Ward responded that way. You know what? Ward usually responds. Okay? He usually responds. He definitely respects Floyd, but he's not going to let somebody just be talking about him in that way. All right? So I understand when I heard Floyd speak about Ward and then Virgil Hunter. I didn't understand the Virgil Hunter thing. Like, listen, Floyd came out and said Ward lost the fight yesterday. Okay? He thinks Ward lost that fight. But the way that he said it, listen, I thought Kovalev edged the fight. But the way Floyd said it, and the way that he bashed Virgil Hunter, you could have your opinion, bro. You could go on camera and say, you know what? I think Ward lost the fight. It is what it is, If they ask you your opinion, like, how do you think the fight? I think Kovalev edged the fight, or whatever. Whatever way you want to answer it. But when you go on to bash his trainer, right? His trainer that's been there since he was a teenager. The kid has never lost. Okay? The guy has been undefeated his whole career, like you. Alright, he's fought good fighters. And when you go in there and bash the guy's trainer, the guy that's been in his corner his whole career, like that, and say, oh, he's a nice guy and everything, but he's a terrible trainer. He needs to get a new trainer. If he goes to fight this guy again, he needs a new trainer. For you to do that, I thought that was very disrespectful. I thought it was very tasteless. And, for him to give that heartfelt message to Ronda Rousey a few days ago about bouncing back from that loss, for someone that was trying to put you down, for someone that was bringing up the domestic violence and all of this stuff that's irrelevant now. All right, for someone that was trying to push, they were using, obviously the media and everything was using her as a pawn, in so many ways against Floyd Mayweather. But this is a woman that is not a boxer. Yet you gave a heartfelt message to her. She's totally against you. She hasn't said anything good about you on camera. But then to go and bash Virgil Hunter like that, what is wrong with you? Like, who does that? It's just with Floyd, it's like everything is so calculated with him. It's so calculated. And you know what? I get it. I see it. Most people don't. Most people, even the people that don't like you, are going to take what you said and run with it. I see the comments already. Yeah, Kovalev won. Kovalev, yeah. But these people don't even like you neither. They're just going to take what you say and run with it. It's not about who we think won that fight. But why do you have to be so disrespectful? That's what I don't get. Why do you have to disrespect the man's trainer just because you don't think he won the fight? Well, he won every other fight. You respected him then. There's people like you and people in your camp that compare you to Andre Ward, or compare Andre Ward to you all of the time. So why are you disrespecting the man now? Oh, because he's never been in a ring and did it. All right, well, whatever. There's plenty of trainers that never been in a ring. All right? So what? So what? There's plenty of journalists. There's plenty of commentators. There's plenty of trainers. There's plenty of people that's heavily involved in the sport that never been in a ring. So what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? Are you gonna bash him? I thought that was real. That was real. I thought it was real fucked up, to be honest with you. You know? You know? And then at the same time, you acting like you don't know who Kovalev is. Just who's that guy? It's just, I don't know. No? When it came to what else he said? Canelo and Triple G. You know, he's been bigging up Canelo all this time. Now that he beat him, and he beat him easily. Now, whenever he gets the opportunity, he's gonna big up Canelo all of the time because he beat him so easily. So it's easy for him to go up there and say, I think he can knock out Triple G. Great, that's your opinion. You know, I mean, listen, me personally, you know, Triple G is about to be 35 years old. I mean, Father Time will catch up to him eventually. It might be this year. It might be when he fights Jacobs. It might be the fight after. I don't know who he's gonna fight after. You know, he might very well be slowing down right now. He might have been slowing down in that Brook fight. That's why it was that close. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. You know? So he might, you know, Canelo might very well knock him out. Canelo might be the better fighter. You know, I don't know. We'll see when that fight happens. But let's not act like Canelo wasn't ducking the man. I mean, the dude gave up his belt to him. Let's be real, you know? But now that you beat Canelo, now you want to try to big up the fighters you beat because you beat them. And people wanted to see you fight Triple G. And now that you're not going to fight him, it's like, well, I'm betting against him. I'm betting for the guy that I beat to beat him because I beat him. And if Canelo is to win that fight, it makes you look better. Legacy-wise, down the line, it makes you look better because you beat Canelo. You gave him his first loss, all right? And it wasn't close. Yet, Canelo goes on to beat Triple G. But no one's going to talk about how Canelo has improved as a fighter since you fought him. You know? Lara didn't fight the same Canelo that you fought. You know? Canelo has improved, at least to me. That's all subjective, but I think he's improved. All right, it's just not an authentic. Everything he say, it's strategic. You know, everything he says at this point. Floyd Mayweather, the businessman. You know, just tell him how you feel. Why you gotta? Who's that guy again? That kills me when he does it. He does it all the time. Who's that guy? Now, I'm gonna end it with this. The Kerry Champion thing with the whole domestic violence thing. I didn't like that. And not with Floyd. I think Floyd did his best to try to defend himself. Kerry Champion for a long time. You know, I don't know if he's been watching her, but for a long time, whenever he comes up, when she was working on First Take, she always bash Floyd Mayweather when given the opportunity, you know? And this is what I'm saying, like, about these people that you are trying to, you know, you're bashing other fighters, yet the people that are really against you need to be against those people that's really against you, you know, because ESPN, outside of Stephen A. Smith, they're not for you, Floyd. All right, we remember back when you fought Manny Pacquiao. I remember because I was making videos on it and I was covering it because I went to Vegas that week. And I remember every day ESPN was talking about the fight, but they were bringing up your domestic violence history. You know, they were bringing that up. Whenever given the opportunity, they were doing that. And Kerry Champion was one of those people. But you went and did an interview with her. You know, and that's all she brought up. She didn't have anything else to say, you know, and I mean, he did his best. You know, the thing is with Floyd, he's not a good speaker. He talks very slow. He's not a great speaker, you know, so it takes him a while to break down. Like, I understand what he's saying, but he's not great at speaking, you know? And he did his best, and I think he did a decent job for the fact that I'm surprised he even did the interview, because he even said to her, like, I knew, you know, I was told that you was gonna bring this up, and she very well did, and she stayed on him about it, you know, and that's cool and everything, you know. I'm glad he did that. I don't know why they're still bringing it up, you know. I just don't know. What are you bringing it up for? For what? What are you bringing it up for? What do you question him about his domestic violence for what? You know, he said something like this, because you know, none of us are there when it comes to domestic violence. You know, we don't know. We don't really know what's the truth behind that. The only thing he admits to is he said I can't remember what he said. But one thing that is fact about domestic violence is that a phone call of a domestic is domestic violence right away. You know, if you guys don't know that, if you call here, it's automatically the domestic violence, regardless of the actual situation. It could just be an argument between a couple. But if it's a situation where cops are called, it's domestic violence. That's what it's called. So I don't know what he did. I don't know if he actually hit these women. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. But all I know is years ago. It's years ago, and they're still bringing it up. You know. So, I want to end it with this. All right. Right before I made this video, I saw that Andre Ward had made a post on his Instagram. I follow him on Instagram. This is if you guys don't follow Andre Ward, he just replied to Floyd in his comments. Okay. This is what Andre Ward said. Floyd, I'm not taking the bait, but I will say this. When is it going to stop? How many more people are you going to lash out at? You're in a position to build up the sport of boxing and the people in it, and not tear it down, especially the younger generation. Be a part of the solution and not part of the problem. Don't become another critic, the very ones you've been fighting your whole career. Just like I was just saying about Kerry Champion. Especially towards the ones that, you know, especially toward the ones who go through the same things you do. All the lashing out may make headlines, but it's not a good look, bro. We need to choose our words wisely. The people are listening. All right. Very professional response by Andre Ward, and I think he should leave it at that. Let Floyd do what he has to do. All right. You know, sometimes I question Floyd's happiness. You know, with the way I just don't know. You know, it's a lot of money, but you know, I know people with money. I know people with a lot of money. Maybe not as much as Floyd, but not all of them are happy, man. And he reminds me of some of these people that I know. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. All right. Leave comments. All right. Let me also say, this is not a Ward versus Kovalev debate video. Please don't leave a bunch of comments about who won that fight. Really, that's really irrelevant right now. All right. I did a review on that fight. You want to check that review out? Go there and do that. But I can tell from the comments that's left in other people's videos that a whole bunch of, you know, I don't want a bunch of spam comments from people that is all anti-Floyd, anti-Andre Ward, you know, pro-Kovalev. I don't want that, all right? Let me know what you guys think, and make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.